We got married during a hurricane, and boy did stuff really go sideways. We had no power when I woke up. I had to drive around town to find a place to take a stuff, due to being on well water. This was after a rehearsal dinner consisting of barbecue and beer, so it was an urgent matter. The venue did not have power until about 90 minutes before the ceremony was supposed to start. A family member showed up addicted up on pills or something, and my brother had to make her leave. The maid of honor, my now Sil, forgot my ring and then froze completely when the pastor asked for it. Another bridesmaid quickly passed one of her rings down the line as a stand-in. It didn't fit. During the after-party at the hotel, my SIL's date accidentally shot himself in the hand. He had to go to a trauma center in a different state at like 3 in the morning. To add to all this, my wife's parents are divorced, both remarried, and absolutely do not get along. I think this was the first time all 4 of their parents, step-parents, were in the same room in years. It was stressful beyond belief. But my wife and I will always treasure the memories of that hectic and crazy day. The best part was after the ceremony the storm had cleared and my wife and I watched the beautiful sunset that follows a big storm this year. TLDR, crazy family drama and hurricanes make for a wild wedding. The wedding was nothing as expected, but the marriage has been nothing but a blessing. It rained non-stop. The venue was outside with a gazebo-type structure. We still held it there, just closer to the middle so we wouldn't get wet. We had a low-budget wedding, so no live band, just a DJ. We gave him the music for the first husband-wife song at rehearsal and all was good. We hired a professional photographer and also asked our families to take pics with the 3 cameras that we had. We have a total of 10 pictures for the whole thing. The professional photographer only had 6 good pictures, everything else was ruined for some reason. The pictures taken with our cameras were all ruined also. This was 17 years ago, so I am fuzzy on the details. But all in all, we only got 4 pictures from those cameras. When we arrived to the hotel, around 1 in the morning I think, they had already given the honeymoon suite to a family because they forgot it was reserved. So we had to stay in a regular room this year. Edit. Just to clarify, because a lot are asking. This is a third world country. Very poor. And at the time we had just started rebuilding after a long war. Customer service was non-existing. Technology for the pictures was really bad. So it was a very different time, place from what we would know as normal now. Or what we would expect now. At the time, if things went sideways you tough it out and move on. Not my wedding but my parents. I wasn't around to experience it, but their friends and family still talk about it to this day. The main culprit was the heavy rain that caused minor flooding and tons of road closures. Mother was very late to the church. My father broke down convinced that she was going to be a no-show. Not my wedding, but a close friend's colleague. So much went wrong. But I'll summarize. Unexpected heavy rain. Wedding ceremony shifted to inside venue. Ceiling collapsed from heavy rainfall right on top of elaborate wedding cake. Luckily the bride and groom had a very good sense of humor and IRC the venue refunded a fair amount of what they had paid out of goodwill. Every day for weeks preceding the wedding, the weather at the time of the ceremony was perfect. 70 degrees and a slight breeze. With the ceremony minutes away, the wind kicked up to high enough speeds that the sand on the beach was whipping up so violently we couldn't walk across it, let alone have the ceremony as planned. We therefore had to move the ceremony into the suite we had reserved for the reception. My wedding took place in Phuket during the 2004 Indonesian tsunami. Not during the actual tsunami, of course. It was scheduled for later that day. My wife and I had a beach wedding planned in Key West. We were on a cruise but had some family on the hot with us and some who flew to Key West directly. Long story short, it was too windy and we couldn't safely port in Key West. We enjoyed the rest of the cruise and just read our vows at the reception we had planned back home.